this is the point of the show where we would switch over to our plan of booking fiction, where our attempt is to uh, point out the similarities between pro wrestling and any other work of fiction that might exist, as there are many. Um, as After we came up with this idea, I started to come up with all sorts of scenarios for you know, what I believe a work of fiction would be um, if if it was booked like a wrestling program. And I think, for example, I think we should start with something really, really simple. And if you go pre-Shakespeare, fiction gets very simple. You know what I mean? Think of something like, the Iliad or the Odyssey. I'm not saying they're simple stories, but there's not a lot of dynamic character growth.
And quite honestly, the first work of fiction that popped into my head for some reason was Game of Thrones, and that's going to be for a later time and possibly multiple episodes because of how convoluted the story can get.
but that's you only need to hear Game of Thrones and you can picture, like, Game of Thrones is like a New Japan style, like multiple factions, all in these 5-on-5 matches. It just oozes wrestling. It really does. It's without question. Our first pick is going to be Infinity War, which I think is actually going to be pretty easy. Pretty easy. And to draw the parallels there, we're going to be giving these fictional characters finishing moves, entrance taglines,
theme songs.
Yeah, their handle. So, like, for instance, when somebody comes out, what's the announcer going to say? What's going to be their, the phenomenal this? We already know what some of these are going to be. And I was actually thinking of Beowulf, because Beowulf is a very simple wrestling storyline, which is this guy goes from territory to territory and beats the biggest bad guy in every territory. You know what I mean?
Right.
I'm talking about, like, the original Beowulf. Beowulf comes to Grendel's territory. He's the champion. He beats Grendel. He goes to Grendel's mother's territory. She's the champion. He beats Grendel's mother. He goes to the dragon's territory, and he beats the dragon. Like, the fun is trying to turn Beowulf into a professional wrestler. Probably a really easy feat. He's Danish. So what would his like handle be when he's being announced to the ring?
Let's see.
Well, I think if we were to get simple, it'd just be like the Danish Destroyer.
The Danish Destroyer.
But, like, I think after he won that first big match against Grendel, he'd change his name a la Seth Rollins to the Grendel Slayer.
The Grendel Slayer, yeah, definitely.
And I'm only using this as an example to see what we are attempting to do here. And we're going to have the outline. We're going to have, the names of these matches. I only recently thought of Hyborian Pro Wrestling because I know that there's a lot of opportunity in there. First off, we'll discuss that when we actually do discuss that, because I've put the idea in your head now, and I'm going to give you an opportunity, a couple of weeks, to sit on that one and come up with some stuff.
Yeah, I'm going to have to work that one out.
But the first one's going to be Infinity War. I've already got ideas about that one. Just try to
pretty cut and dry, man. The new monster heel comes in and
the new monster heel shows up.
And they job Thor and Loki and Hulk out to him.
Well, okay. So here's going to be a preview. And yeah, exactly. The jobbing of Thor and Loki, right? This is going to be an example of the parallels between pro wrestling and fiction. And this is just going to be a preview of what I'm going to talk about, because I was just thinking about this today, right? So I spend a little bit too much time on the TV tropes page, if you've ever heard of that. It's where every single trope in the history of fiction gets collected and compiled for consumption and categorized. So there is a trope referred to as the Worf effect. Do you know what that is?
I do not.
Okay. So you are familiar with Worf, though, from Star Trek The Next Generation.
Of course.
Okay. So the Worf effect is this. If Worf is the biggest, baddest guy in the cast, they've established it way early on. Whenever somebody shows up and is a threat, what are they going to have him do? They're going to have him
beat the biggest dude in there.
Yes, they're going to have him toss around Worf because they're like, wow, if this guy can throw around Worf, then
this guy must be pretty strong.
Yes. They call that the Worf effect. The pro wrestling equivalent, I'm going to determine and I'm going to coin that right now. I'm calling it the Kane effect.
There you go.
The Kane effect, which is
that's pretty accurate. Or Big Show effect.
Big time monster shows up. First person to step up is Kane, and they start throwing around Kane like a madman. They're like, oh man, this guy's, look what he's done to Kane. Look what a serious threat this guy is. The Kane effect. Effectively, since he's been in enough movies in the MCU now, in Infinity War, Hulk is Kane. Before the title is even shown, Hulk shows up to fight this big bad new monster heel Thanos. And he gets squashed in like 30 seconds.
They lead you to believe he's going to put up a little bit of a fight.
That's right.
Nope.
And then he just gets beat down, all to establish right there in this first like 3 minutes of the movie. This guy is so bad, he has taken out the biggest and strongest guy the Avengers have. That is what we call a monster squash. That's as pro wrestling as it gets. So his the first show is like this guy shows up. They've been doing a promo package for Thanos for months now because you've been seeing him in all these previews. Like, get ready. Thanos.
The build-up has been there forever. and funny enough, it's very similar to Kane's promo build-up leading up to his debut, coming in the Hell in a Cell, ripping off the steel cage door. Or the Hell in a Cell door,
and so that's what you got here.
Undertaker.
That's what you got here. You've got this promo package has been running for months, or in the case of MCU, years. This guy's coming, and when he shows up, he's got this first big show against the Kane of the MCU, the Hulk, and he beats him in like 3 minutes. And everyone's like, oh, I can't believe they booked Hulk to be such a loser. Which they did for the remainder of the movie. But I'm pretty sure he's going to get a big heroic moment. It's coming. It's just, I don't
he hasn't really had a hype man like Paul Bearer.
Oh, no.
He's
Hulk,
coming.
You know who's Hulk's Paul Bearer? It's Black Widow.
Oh, there you go. And then and Thanos's promos have been in small vignettes in the form of stingers at the end of movies.
That's right. That's exactly what it is. Those are vignettes for Thanos. Thanos is coming to the MCU next month. Like, that's what it is. It's a promo. These are promo packages for this big new monster heel, and now we're at the title card for Infinity War. The next thing we're gonna book on the next time we get together, it's going to be a big tag team match between Scarlet Witch and Vision versus Proxima Midnight and was it Corvus Glaive who was with her? I'm trying to remember.
Yes, Corvus Glaive.
Corvus Glaive. Big tag team match between these two huge factions. It's going to be, a very important match, but much like classic wrestling matches between factions, it's going to end in a dusty finish when Captain America does the run-in.
So we could say Thanos is going around and collecting all the titles in the promotion, and Vision is in possession of the Mind title,
the Mind Championship. There we go. There we go.
The Mind Championship.
All right, we'll run through that next time. Is there anything you wanted to add?
No.
All right, cool. So yeah, this is just us. We're still testing the waters. We're finding our footing, and we hope to keep doing this because we're having a lot of fun. I'm having a lot of fun. I can't speak for Chico, but I'm having a lot of fun.
Of course.
And so I hope to keep doing this, and I think I'm actually going to end up posting some of this, so it'll probably be up by the morning.
Yeah, maybe we can get some more ideas from people out there from
Absolutely.
our
Absolutely.
from the 3 or 4 subscribers.
Yes. From 3 or 4 of them. All right, man. Thank you very much. And of course, wrestling is real entertainment.